The quietly wealthy almost never look the way people expect. They are not always wearing designer clothes. They are not always driving expensive cars. And they are usually not trying to make their life look impressive from the outside. But behind the scenes, they are often doing something much more powerful. They are building systems. They are thinking long-term. They are making decisions that do not get attention now, but create real freedom later. While other people focus on looking successful, they focus on becoming financially stronger in private. That is what quiet wealth looks like. It is not loud. It is not performative. And most of the time, it is easy to miss in the beginning because the habits that create it often look simple, boring, and ordinary. In this video, I'm going to break down 5 habits of quietly wealthy people. And if you start building even a few of them, you stop chasing the image of wealth and start building the real thing. If you want more videos that help you build real wealth, step by step, subscribe to the channel. Habit number 1, they automate their money, so discipline becomes automatic. Quietly wealthy people do not rely on motivation. They do not wake up every month hoping they will make the right money decisions. They build systems that make those decisions for them. Savings move automatically. Investments happen on schedule. Bills are paid on time, without stress or last-minute scrambling. The important money goes where it needs to go before emotion has a chance to interfere. That is what makes this habit so powerful. Automation reduces the number of financial decisions you have to make, and that matters because emotions are expensive. The more often you have to choose between spending now and building later, the easier it is to drift. Quietly wealthy people remove that friction. They set up the system once, then let it keep building in the background while life keeps moving. And over time, that quiet consistency becomes one of the strongest drivers of real wealth. Because when your money is automatically moving in the right direction, discipline stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like design. Habit number 2, they spend less often but spend better. They do not buy things just because they are trending, flashy, or exciting in the moment. They care more about durability, function, and long-term value. They would rather buy one thing that lasts than keep replacing cheaper things that wear out fast. That is a very different way of thinking about spending. Most people spend for dopamine. Quietly wealthy people spend for utility. They research before they buy. They compare. They think about how often they will use something, how long it will last, and whether it actually improves their life in a meaningful way. That is why they often choose quality over trend and function over status. They are not trying to impress people with what they bought. They are trying to reduce waste, lower the total cost over time, and make purchases they will not regret a few months later. A quietly wealthy person would rather own fewer better things than a pile of expensive-looking things that do not actually hold value. And over time, that saves more than money. It saves stress, time, and decision fatigue too. Because when you spend this way, consumption stops being emotional and starts becoming intentional. And that is one of the quiet signals that someone is building wealth instead of just performing success. Habit number 3, they track what they keep, not just what they earn. Most people pay a lot of attention to income. Salary, hourly rate, business revenue. The number coming in feels important, so it becomes the number they talk about. Quietly wealthy people look deeper. They care more about net worth than income because wealth is built from what stays, not what flashes in. Income tells you how much money passed through your hands. Net worth tells you what you actually kept and built. That is a major difference. Net worth is your assets minus your liabilities, what you own minus what you owe. Savings, investments, cash, property, business equity on one side, credit cards, loans, and other debt on the other. That is the number that shows whether your financial life is actually getting stronger. Because someone can earn a high income and still be financially weak if all of it disappears into debt, lifestyle, and monthly payments. And someone else can earn much less, but quietly build real wealth by increasing what they own year after year. That is why quietly wealthy people measure progress through ownership, not appearance. They are not trying to win the spending game. They are trying to grow what is theirs. More assets, fewer liabilities, more control, more freedom. And as net worth grows, life starts to feel different. You have more options, more flexibility, more distance from panic. That is why people who truly understand money stop obsessing over what they make and start paying attention to what they are actually building. Habit number 4, they think in decades, not paychecks. This is one of the biggest differences between people who build wealth and people who keep resetting their financial life. Most people make money decisions based on what feels good now, what they can afford this month, what everyone else seems to be doing, what feels exciting in the moment. Quietly wealthy people think differently. They make present decisions based on what those decisions will create 10 years from now. They are constantly asking a quieter, smarter question. What does this choice grow into over time? That changes everything. It makes delayed gratification feel less like sacrifice and more like strategy. It makes saying no to short-term comfort easier because they can see the long-term freedom it protects. It keeps them from chasing trends, urgency, and quick wins that usually cost more than they appear to. And this is where compounding becomes powerful. Compounding rewards people who can stay patient long enough for small decisions to turn into big outcomes. A little invested consistently, a little less wasted, a little more discipline around upgrades, debt, and lifestyle. Over a decade, those small choices stop looking small. That is why quietly wealthy people are not obsessed with speed. They are obsessed with direction. Because when you think in decades instead of paychecks, your money decisions stop being reactive and start becoming generational. Habit number 5. They do not let lifestyle rise as fast as income. This is one of the clearest predictors of future wealth. Most people earn more and almost immediately start spending more. A raise turns into a better car, a nicer apartment, more expensive habits, and a lifestyle that quietly absorbs every extra dollar. Quietly wealthy people resist that pattern. When income goes up, they do not feel pressure to upgrade everything. They let their lifestyle stay mostly steady and redirect the difference into assets. More savings, more investing, a stronger financial base. That is where the real shift happens, because the gap between what you earn and what you spend is what builds wealth. That gap creates margin, and margin creates peace, freedom, and options. It means less pressure every month, more room to handle surprises, more ability to invest consistently, more power to make choices without feeling trapped by your own expenses. And over time, that quiet accumulation starts accelerating. From the outside, it may not look like much changed, but underneath, everything is getting stronger. More money is flowing into things that grow instead of things that need to be maintained. That is why this habit matters so much. It is not just about avoiding lifestyle inflation. It is about making sure every increase in income makes your future stronger, not just your image more expensive. Quiet wealth is built before it is seen. That is what makes it so easy to miss in the beginning. These habits do not look dramatic in the moment. They do not get much attention. They do not always make you look successful right away. But repeated over time, they build the kind of life most people only try to appear to have. Because the quietly wealthy do not chase the image of wealth. They build the structure of wealth until the results speak for themselves. And that is the encouraging part. You do not need to master everything at once. You can start with one habit, automate one transfer, spend more intentionally, track what you actually keep, think longer term, let one raise strengthen your future instead of your image. That is how quiet wealth begins, not with a loud moment, but with repeated private decisions that make you stronger year after year. If this helped, subscribe to the channel for more videos on building real wealth step by step. And let me know in the comments, which of these 5 habits do you already have? And if you want to keep going, watch the next video on the signs you are secretly rich, because that one might completely change how you measure financial progress.